Good evening, everybody. This is your favorite aspiring classicist here, a wandering author, reminding you that we are all the authors of our own lives. As always, my message remains the same: spend less, live more, earn your freedom with frugality. And today, we're going to continue our discussion of friendship and virtues, but with chapter 5 of book 8 of Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. And he begins by saying, "It is with friendship as it is with the virtues. Men are called good in two senses, either as having a virtuous disposition or as realizing virtue in action." So he's distinguishing between a state and a process. And similarly, friends, when in each other's company, derive pleasures from and confer benefits on each other, whereas friends who are asleep or parted are not actively friendly, yet have the disposition to be so. For separation does not destroy friendship absolutely, though it prevents his active exercise. If, however, the absence be prolonged, it seems to cause the friendly feeling itself to be forgotten. And that right there, I think, is a deep quote. Let me repeat it. If, however, the absence be prolonged, it seems to cause the friendly feeling itself to be forgotten. If you've ever moved away, like maybe whenever you were in school, you changed schools, you still felt like you were friends with your old friends for a while, but after a long enough time of being apart from people, that feeling starts to go away. Aristotle was human, just like us. And then Aristotle continues and says, "The old and morose do not appear to be much given to friendship, for their capacity to please is small, and nobody can pass his days in the company of one who is distasteful to him or not pleasing, since it seems to be one of the strongest instincts of nature to shun what is painful and seek what is pleasant. And when persons approve of each other, without seeking each other's society, this seems to be goodwill rather than friendship. Nothing is more characteristic of friends than that they seek each other's society." It's on the board there. "Poor men desire their friends' assistance, and even the most prosperous wish for their companionship. But it is impossible for men to spend their time together unless they give each other pleasure or have common tastes. Friendship between good men, then, is the truest friendship, as has been said several times before. For it is agreed that what is good and pleasant absolutely is lovable and desirable strictly, while what is good and pleasant for a particular person is lovable and desirable relatively to that person. But the friendship of good men for each other rests on both these grounds. Also, when men wish the good of those they love for their own sakes, their goodwill does not depend on emotion, but on a fixed disposition. Liking seems to be an emotion. Friendship, a fixed disposition. For liking can be felt even for inanimate things. But reciprocal liking, which is friendship, involves deliberate choice, and this springs from a fixed disposition. And in loving their friend, they love their own good, for the good man in becoming dear to another, becomes that other's good. Each party therefore both loves his own good and also makes an equivalent return by wishing the other's good and by affording him pleasure. For there is a saying, amity is equality, and this is most fully realized in the friendships of the good." And that is the end of chapter 5. It's a little bit shorter than the previous chapter. In the next chapter, Aristotle is going to talk a little bit more about morose and elderly people. And we'll go over that tomorrow. What are y'all doing in order to inspire, uplift, and empower your local communities today? Because this world isn't changing unless we all do our part, and you can count on me to do mine daily. Until next time, I love y'all.